Everyone, and welcome back to the Osteophysio YouTube channel. Today we are launching our new YouTube series where we are going to be helping performing artists. We're going to be helping dancers and musicians with our top tips and exercise to reduce the risk of injury occurring. Our first video is looking at helping piano players. We see a lot of different piano players coming in to see us in clinic, and the most common injuries are occurring around the elbow and the wrist area. Some of the most common things that can occur from the mechanics of holding the hands up when you're playing can be that repetitive strain injury. So most commonly we have injury and soreness occurring around the lateral, so the outer, and the medial, the inner parts of the elbow. So for example, lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow, and medial epicondylitis, golfer's elbow, as well as injuries around the tendons of the fingers and the thumb. So we can get something called de Quervain's tenosynovitis, so where you're constantly using the thumb. We can get inflammation and soreness forming around here so that it causes pulling and pinching when they're playing, as well as fatigue and stiffness forming into the joints of the fingers, particularly if they're playing for long periods of time. So our video today is all about our 5-minute routine, helping you warm up and release into the forearm and the hands before or after playing. For the first 30 seconds, we want to start off with massaging down into the forearm area. So what we want to try and encourage is blood flow into the belly of the muscles. And the reason why is, although you're using the hands to play, the tendons attach down into the fingers and the muscle belly is typically a lot higher. So what you're doing in that movement is a circular motion into the belly of the muscle on one side, very, very slow and controlled over this area. You can use a little bit of oil if you want, if you've got any kind of moisturizer, but the idea is you're going from the elbow right the way down into the wrist. So for the first 30 seconds we're massaging down through here. Lovely. Good. For the next 30 seconds we want to massage down the inner side of the forearm. So again, going from the wrist down towards the elbow, it's a lovely circular motion going down. So we're going for trying to aim to get blood flow into the area to help with that release. And the reason why a circular motion is quite good is you're going across the fibres, so it helps to break down any tightness that you might feel. So we can obviously look at both sides with this. So although we're doing 30 seconds here, you can of course do it on the opposite side. What we then want to do is release into the palm of the hand. So when the hands fix in a position when you're playing, you can get a lot of tightness through your thenar and hypothenar eminence. So what you're doing is you're starting from the wrist and you're sliding the thumb up towards the fingers. So really important, so you're going up towards each of the fingers. So you're going from the thumb across, up towards the second, third, fourth and fifth for 30 seconds. So lovely, slow and controlled, stretching across. Once you've done that, you want to start to add in a little bit of movement. So first of all, we're going to do some circular motion around into the elbow. So the main movement of the elbow is flexing and extending. So what we're doing here is adding in the movement of the forearm into supination and pronation. So you're going to do 30 seconds of movement. So at about 15 seconds, you're going to change to go the opposite way. So you're going through that lovely motion. So it helps to reduce a little bit of stiffness, tightness forming, and then down the other way for the other 15 seconds. So we're going into that lovely movement. So you're going to be turning the wrist as you're coming around. So lovely kind of movement through before we stretch. And it's just trying to get blood flow to the area, because you think when you're playing, everything's very static, so you want to get it all moving. So we're opening up through there. Once you've finished that 30 seconds, we're then going into the wrist movement. So again, same thing, it's that lovely circular motion through the wrist. So we want to aim to do 15 seconds one way, and you'll probably feel it clicking a little bit as we're moving. So that's just as we're opening up through the joints, so of the carpal bones down through here. So you want to do 15 seconds one way, and then 15 seconds the other way. So we're getting that lovely full range of motion into the wrist to get it all moving this morning or afternoon, depending on when you're doing it. So we're going to open up through the wrist, so keep going, lovely movements. Again, lovely, slow and controlled if it's a little bit sore. And we're moving through into that area. The next thing we want to do is move into the fingers, but we're actually going to do it through tractioning, so trying to gap the joint. So you've got the hand here, you're going to use the other hand to pull away very gently, so you're lengthening long ways along the fingers. So you're going to hold for a couple of seconds here. So again, we're doing it for 30 seconds. So hold a couple of seconds, gently relax. Next finger, you're going to pull the finger, hold for a couple of seconds, and then relax. Same again, pull the finger, might feel it click a little bit as you're gapping the joint, gently opening up through, and then relax. And again, pull into the hand, perfect, and relax. And again, one more, and relax. And with all of these, of course, you can repeat it on the opposite side. So we're just doing the dominant hand today, but of course you want to repeat it on the opposite side. We're next doing 30 seconds of stretching into really specific muscle groups. So what we want to look at here is we want to look at the extensors and the supinator muscles. So how we stretch the outer part of the forearm is we're going to turn the hand down, hold around the hand, and then you're going to pull the arm out straight, and it feels really nice. You'll feel the stretch down through there. If that's a little bit too much initially, just reduce the range, but the aim is to take it to here as we want to stretch around this area. So we're holding this position for 30 seconds, so keeping it in that fixed position. Again, just feels really nice if we're going to be playing, just getting blood flow to the area, releasing a lot of tightness, and we're just going to hold that lovely and still for 30 seconds before we swap over. Perfect. Then we're going to go the opposite way. So you want to target the supinators and the flexors. So again, they're the ones that are firing when you're playing. Is you're going to turn the hand up the opposite way. Again, still holding around the palm, and you're going to pull the arm out straight, making sure we're bending the wrist back. So I'm quite hypermobile, so you probably want to release it back a little bit with the stretch, or even more if it is quite tight through there, and you want to hold that for about 30 seconds. So again, really nice thing to do before you play or after, just getting all of that tightness to go, so that when you're sat performing, you're not feeling like everything's getting really tight and really sore. So we're holding that there for 30 seconds and then relaxing. Next, we want to stretch a little bit higher, because again, as you're playing, we're kind of doing this sometimes with the neck. So what we're going to do to stretch both sides is we're going to turn the head away, drop the chin down. That might be enough of a stretch initially, and then we're going to use the other hand just to exaggerate that stretch. So you should feel it pulling down through here. So we're going to do 30 seconds this side, holding in a lovely controlled position. Again, if it's too much, just take the hand away so you're not exaggerating that stretch. And you should feel it pulling right the way down into the shoulder, and then gently unwinding, and then same the opposite side. So turning the head away, dropping the chin down. Again, that might be enough on this side. Using the hand just to exaggerate that stretch, and it's really nice because you can feel it opening up through the neck, through the shoulders. Because again, as you know, when you're performing, you're doing it for a long period of time, the whole body likes to get involved. So really important just to kind of stretch through there, and a really nice kind of warm up routine before you play. And we're holding that lovely and gently, and then gently relaxing there.